Hello guys, welcome back to 100% NUFC and you're watching Toon Weekly episode 15 in a snowy Newcastle. Wow, just look at it. I couldn't have called for a last episode, so this is going to be the last episode of Toon Weekly. I hope you've really enjoyed it. It will be coming back in the summer as the transfer window has just closed last week. Now, I'm going to be talking about the news that's happened the week before, up until this week. Now, Newcastle United over the course of the January market have spent basically nothing with terms of buying loans. With both free loan players on loan until the end of the season. They are Martin Dubravka, Islam Slimani and Kennedy. Players from Chelsea, Sparta Prague and Leicester, should I say, as the dog's outside here, he's just doing his own thing. Now, was it a good window? Was it a bad window? I think it was not the best window. I think it's been really disappointing. There's been so much talk of Newcastle smashing that transfer record. There's been so much talk of Newcastle, buying the players in that's going to help, fire up the Premier League table. And we all know that our squad's not good enough. We all know that it's not got the best quality, and our strikers are not very good when it comes to finishing in the final third. Now, I think we ought to have done better, for a club of our size. We shouldn't be relying on loan deals. I know it's hard in the market to get players in these days, and it's not easy as in the January. If you're not doing too well, clubs that you're buying from will hold the aces for who they, want to sell to and the value of the player. Now, I think really we ought to have got our business done a lot earlier than we have in there. That's disappointing. Now, let's start off with the first signing from Chelsea. We've already seen him a couple of times, and that's Kennedy. Now, he is a attacking wing back. He's very good, and we all know that he's got potential. He's got pace, and he's got pace to burn. And we've seen him a lot in his Chelsea playing career. I only seen him once, and that was in the Norwich game when they played them in the FA Cup. Now, we've seen him in a couple of games, and he's looked really lively. Against Burnley last week at St James's Park when we drew 1-1. He set up the penalty. I think, in my opinion, he should have taken it. Hoslu took it, and he missed it. And ultimately, we did get the first goal. But when they took Kennedy off, because he's not really match fit, we brought on the usual players, and we couldn't see out a game, and Burnley got back into it. And I would say undeservedly. I was about to say undeservedly. They got the draw, and they're doing well this season. They're the top of the top 10 of the table, and that just goes to show we're inexperienced. As you can see, all the snow's just coming down now. But he's looked really lively against Chelsea. He looked really, really good. The only negative I say for Kennedy was in the second half of the 47th minute, he should have squared it to Perez a lot quicker. And if he did that, I think Newcastle could have been 2-0 up. I mean, Perez going one-on-one with Hennessy, and you've got to finish it. Now, again, the lad will learn. He's getting first team action. He looks very promising. He looks someone different to what we've already got. And I think, with the right training with Rafa Benitez, he's going to get better. We're going to see a lot of him. Now, last week on deadline day, Newcastle will link with two players. That was Martin Dubravka and Islam Slimani. Now, Islam Slimani is an Algerian striker who we've just signed on loan to the end of the season from Leicester. He came with a massive price tag to Leicester from Sporting Lisbon. It hasn't quite worked out because when Leicester won the Premier League, they were expecting to help Leicester stay, consolidate themselves in the top six. It hasn't happened. They finished mid-table, but they did, for their standards, have a really good Champions League run. Now, I think overall, is he going to be the answer between now and the end of the season? Well, he's injury prone, isn't he? So we might not be able to see him until, at least maybe the Man United game on Sunday, if not the game after. Now, he is a promising player. He does offer something different. He is a strong physical player who can hold up the ball. He's good at set pieces, so when a ball comes into the box, I'm sure he can stick his head on it and make a difference. But, he is injury prone. Has he got the Premier League experience? Well, he probably has, but he hasn't played enough games for me, so he's got to prove his worth. And he's only on loan until the end of the season, so I don't think it's bad. I don't think Slimani was our top target, but Rafa Benitez wanted a striker through the door. We're getting linked with the likes of Gamero. Sturridge didn't quite work out for one reason or another. He ended up going to West Brom. It's just, frustrating. Dini, stayed at Watford as well. Now, also being linked with Martin Dubravka from Sparta Prague. We managed to get him through the door on deadline day from, again, Sparta Prague. Comes with a good reputation. He's played a lot of games. He's played some Europa League and Champions League football, so he's got some experience, but he's not got experience in the Premier League. But Rafa Benitez sees something in him. He didn't start against Crystal Palace, which I was a little bit disappointed with, because you don't sign somebody for 6 months and not play them. Now, I think he might make his debut at home against Manchester United. That will remain to be seen. The same could be said with Islam Salmani. He might be back, but that remains to be seen. Now, Rafa Benitez has always wanted a goalkeeper, and we all know Carl Darlow and Rob Elliott. He's not a big fan of them. He's been messing about with taking around with the team and stuff, and it's not really helping because we need a solid team, a consistent team that's going to fire up the league. And for me, it's just, the players that we've got in, they're not the best signings in the world, but you've got to be grateful, that they're through the door now, and we've just got to look at the positives from that we've got a couple through the door, and we've just got to get on with it now. Now, talking of the two games over the course of the week, so we played Burnley, we drew 1-1, I think, which was very disappointing. I felt that we were the better team. We should be doing a lot better, especially at home. Your home performances are the bread and butter in this league, and if you win your home games and you win a few away games, you're staying in the Premier League, no doubt. Then we'll go to Crystal Palace, after dropping 2 points against Burnley, we take the lead 1-0. We dominate the first half, but we don't have the same intensity going into the second half. And again, it's cost where Crystal Palace got back into the game. Crystal Palace, were the most better team. They couldn't be any worse than what they were at home. And Crystal Palace are in the same predicament as what we are in. They haven't exactly got the best team. They don't exactly do well in the final third, but again, they're going to get judged on their home performances. So yeah, Crystal Palace was so much better second half. They came at Newcastle. They couldn't be any worse than what they were in the first half. They pretty much gave it everything. Crystal Palace are in the same predicament as us. They're lacking that final third. Now, if Kennedy had squared that ball to Perez in the 47th minute, I reckon Newcastle, could have been a 2-0. It could have been potentially game over. You're getting 3 points if you see the game out. Now, Crystal Palace, they put the pressure on where they're putting the balls into the box. Wilfred Zaha's causing problems. Benteke is causing problems. And the moment told after 50-odd minutes, ball got crossed into the box for Benteke to attack. I think it was Benteke anyway. And Kieran Clark pulls it back. The linesman on the far side spots it, and it's a penalty to Crystal Palace. He got spot on at the end of the day. Kieran Clark, you should not be doing that. You've made mistakes against Chelsea now, and you've made mistakes against Crystal Palace, and you've cost me the points. Now, Milivojevic, he steps up, he scores, and it's 1-1, and Newcastle have already got themselves to blame. We've done it to ourselves, and Crystal Palace, for me, were the better team throughout. We should have kicked on, we didn't. And again, you talk about the intensity, it's not there at the moment, and Crystal Palace, for me, had chances through, Johan Cabaye, which he should do better with. Benteke should do better with his header. James McCarthy, for me, misses an absolute sitter. It should go into the top corner, and it should be 2-1 to Crystal Palace. They should be walking away with the points, and it just goes to show the quality of both teams. And Crystal Palace were probably the most disappointing supporters going out of the game because of them being the home team. But then you look at us, if we took our chances in that first half, we're walking away with the points. And you look at the league table, we're 16th now after the 2 games that we've played. We've picked up 2 points out of 6, which for me is very disappointing. Yes, it's 2 points, it's better than nothing, but you know what, we could have walked away with 4 points, or we could even have had 6. Burnley and Crystal Palace, they're your teams that you should be beating this season, and we simply haven't been good enough. And we've got Man United coming up on Sunday, no easy game. Mourinho's never won at St James's Park. I think that might change. I said it in the Crystal Palace review. I think he'll get his first win. Man United have got a quality team. We don't have that. Sanchez will cause a problem. You've got Lingard there who'll cause a problem. You've got Martial. They've got players in there that can come off the bench and make a difference. And the people last time out at St James's Park, the season we got relegated. Now, I suppose we've just got to dust ourselves down and train this week, and Rafa Benitez might have to change a few things going into the game on Sunday. It's going to be a tough game, and yeah, very disappointing in terms of the results over the course of the week. I think we'll ought to do better, and the games are coming fast, and the fixtures are not getting any easier for Newcastle. Got Man United coming up, Bournemouth away, no easy fixtures. You let me know your thoughts of the 2 results and our league position in the table. Are you worried right now? Because I think I am, going between now and the end of the season. Now we could be in a serious relegation scrap, and I don't want to do another season in the Championship, but if we have to, we'll have to. But I don't really want to be seen with playing, Burton Albion, Nottingham Forest, all these sort of teams. I want to be seen with competing in the Premier League and Rafa Benitez's future at the end of the season. Now, this has just been your Toon Weekly episode 15. I hope you really enjoyed it. This is the last one now for the summer holidays. I will be back when there's more transfer news. If there's any individual news, that'll be broken on this channel anyway, so don't you worry about that. There's Shola's Road to the Premier League, which I hope you're enjoying. There'll be a Man United match preview. There'll be a FIFA predicts coming up as well. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be going to the game or not, as I haven't got a ticket, but I'm sure I'll find one eventually. If not, I'll watch it at home. Not to worry, it's a big game. And the snow as it's coming down in Newcastle, I'm getting snowed on. If you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to go along and subscribe to 100% NUFC, as I'm on 994 subscribers. I'm trying to hit 1,000, so if you can go along and subscribe, that really would mean the world to me. Your support means so much to me anyway, and to get 1,000 subscribers, that would be a massive milestone for me and my channel, for where I've come from. Anyway, thank you very much from Sharky, 100% NUFC. I hope you're all staying well, and I'll see you all later. How are the lads? Peace.